What's good, y'all? Man, I had to sit up here, y'all, and I had to put my mom on. You see what I'm saying today? Because we was talking about these buttons, pushing these buttons, and I was just like, you know what, Mom? We just gonna read the word today. I
Mm-hmm.
started in Proverbs 31, and I was just like, matter of fact, I started in Ecclesiastics, and for some reason, when I was going, the Lord was just like, I needed to be obedient and go back to Proverbs 31. And I was just like, Lord, how am I gonna go back? With this something I already have done. I'm just like, you can't tell the Lord no. God tells you to do something, you got to be obedient. And in a minute when I went back, I started saying all these triple numbers, 777, 888, triple one, triple twos, and I'm just like, you know what? I have to be, going the right way. God's letting me know with his angels and everything, like, hey, keep going, keep going, keep going. And I said, thank you, Lord. Thank you for giving me the insight of where I should go back to. And so when me and my mom was talking, she
Mm-hmm.
was, I said, you know what? It's just like I was talking about going to the virtuous woman, but I said, let's back that up and go into, the beginning of
Yes.
Proverbs 31st, where it says the words of a king, words of King Lemuel, or it's Lemuel. Maybe it's Lemuel, Lemuel, words of King Lemuel. And I feel like when we went into this, I don't think it was just talking about like this is for young men or this is for, just for a son or something like that. But I thought, this is something for everybody that they can hear, for, for men and women. You see what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
We was talking about like these buttons or buttons that could be pressed or something like that. So let's read this. Let's get into it. I'm gonna have my mom to go over this first part with me, and then however long she wants to stay in it, just stay in it. Anytime you want to get into it, Mom, pop in and say something. All right.
Okay.
And I'll ask you some questions and stuff like that because I wanted your insight. All right. So we started off, and it says here I'm gonna read the Amplified. All right. The words of Lemuel, king of Massa. Okay, Massa of Massa, which his mother taught him. What, my son? Question mark. What, son of my womb? Question mark. What shall I advise you, son of my vows and dedication to God? Question mark. Give not your strength to loose women, nor your ways to those who and that which ruin and destroy kings. It is not for kings, O Lemuel, it's not for kings to drink wine or for rulers to desire strong drink, lest they drink and forget the law and what it decrees and pervert the justice due any of the afflicted. Give strong drink as medicine to him who is ready to pass away, and wine to him in the bitter distress of heart.
Mm-hmm.
Let him drink and forget his poverty. I'm gonna read it all. Let him drink and forget his poverty and seriously remember his want and misery no more. Open your mouth for the dumb, those unable to speak for themselves, for the rights of all who are left desolate and defenseless. Open your mouth, judge righteously, and administer justice for the poor and needy. So when we went over this, we start going there. See, you can hear it and hear different stuff, huh?
Mm-hmm.
When we first went into this, so we took a part out of this because it is the king that is talking right here. And I know when you thinking of the mother that is talking to her son, think of it also. Listen, y'all. When I saw this, I don't know how I always do, but I told you I see God in everything, right?
Yeah.
So I know Mary had Jesus, but you got to think of this too. For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son.
Only.
So I saw how, first and foremost, God gave Jesus. He gave his son. So matter of fact, he was the Holy Spirit until he sent his son into the flesh to become flesh. So I'm looking at this, how God gave his son to us.
Yes.
And when he gave his son to us, I'm looking at how now we have to be an example of the Father.
Mm-hmm.
Because he shows us in these stories of how we supposed to be. So, Mom, I was asking you, how do you feel about this? So we gonna go off of it a little bit, but more into a spiritual way of looking at things. When we heard about this drink, because I said, you know what? If we look at it right now, you know, as regular, we know y'all. Just like back in the day, when it says give them a strong drink, we probably would think of something like, look, whiskey,
alcohol.
How they used to do, you know, they used to snaps or whiskey, put a little peppermint, or I don't know how they used to do it back then, mama. But, you know, when somebody used to get it, you know, or they have a wound, put alcohol on the wound, or they used to say, well, give them a little bit of this.
Yeah, they drink a little bit of it.
Give them a little scotch, a little whiskey or something to try to, you know, get rid of the cold. I don't know.
Pain.
You know, do you know what they used to use? Is alcohol like peppermint or something? I don't know.
Whiskey.
Something like that, huh? Like back in the day,
like
the elders.
whiskey, and I don't know the name of them now.
But then, so anyways, so look, when we heard this, I said, Mama, let's look at it spiritually. And it was like this: give strong drink as medicine, okay, to him who is ready to pass away. So when we heard that part, I said, Mama, just let's look at it spiritually, you know. And we went into like how, you know, and I was sitting up there, what about this? Like when you trying to tell somebody something, I said, why do they always wait to like when somebody get ready to pass away, and then they say, oh, you know, son or daughter, you know, let me tell you know how people say they gonna hold this to their grave, and then they wait till they get ready to die, and then finally they sit up there and then tell you.
Yeah.
You be like, why you wait so long just to tell me all of this when you should have told me when I can understand it, you know, and then maybe I could have tried to figure something out.
Yeah.
I mean, like, why you take so long telling me this? Maybe I could have understood it. So we was trying to sit up here and go on about what that strong drink is, because you know how you got some weak people and you got some strong people. I said, Mama, how would you go about it? You know, I said, how would you go about it if somebody was like, because this takes me back like Samson too. You know how, you know, when he told her about the hair and stuff like that,
yeah,
and what would make him weak and everything. I said, Mama, isn't it something how you know? Because I asked you, because you know these things. I said, how would you talk, Mama, to somebody who, you know, that somebody is weak, but yet you know somebody who's strong, like somebody who can take. You know, you know how to talk to people, like if they can take something. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say, but you get it?
Yeah.
So how would you go about it? Like, you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, parents just know their children. It's just like
you know, you know that this person can take it, but this person might not can.
Yeah, it's just like you trying to talk to your child before they get 18. You push them out the house. A lot of people do that, but I don't do that. You stay in the house until you get 50, 500 years old, whatever. You know, it doesn't matter. A home is a home. That's where you got to lay your head at.
That's nice. Thank you.
So I think you teach them and where they're supposed to go in the Word.
Because, you know, but it's like this too. Like, pardon me, excuse me. But like this, like, explain to them though how you can, how do you know, like, when a person you could talk to them, you know, like put it like this, like you could talk to somebody and you know who could take it and who can't take it, you know.
Yeah,
how do you know that?
You just know it, you know. You have that wisdom.
It's like there's buttons.
Yeah, there's buttons that you know not to push, and you know buttons that you can push. You know, you said one little thing, you know, oh, that's gonna make them go off.
And how do you know how to do that? As a mother.
Well, Jesus gave you wisdom and knowledge. You just know.
You know, I know you have discernment and stuff, but how do you know?
It is through discernment, because you know how they're going to react when you say something that don't go right with them.
Yeah. Have you ever been through something like that before? Like, you know, like, well, I can't say this to this person.
Sure, I sure have.
I know I'm sitting right here.
I have 2 children. And I know what buttons they have to push and not push.
Stop, Mom, because why do I feel guilty already? And that's it.
See, a mother don't even have to say nothing.
Ooh.
All they have to do is be in their presence.
I'm not gonna edit this out either, because see, that's sad.
Because this is true. And everybody that have children, know. Or if you've been a child, you know.
And it's something too, because you know what, that's why I wanted her to talk, because you know my mom, like, she be knowing, like, and it's something because you know, like, she got sisters and brothers as well as children, and sometimes you gotta ask people because you don't want to say the wrong thing. But I said,
Exactly.
Mama, how do you know, like what to say and what not to say? Like, like for instance, if you know this person, because I said, what happens if it's a stranger though? How do you know? Like, you already know your kids though, right? You
Mm-hmm.
say, I could say this to this child, but I might not could say this to this child. Or you might know that your children, right? One person may be able to take this, but you know, like maybe the other person, they can't take that because they may be tenderhearted, or you know, they may not know how to deal with stuff. Because
Yeah.
you know me, I can admit sometimes, you know, okay, I admit sometimes I may be a little bit defensive about things because I be feeling like whatever my sometimes
No, it's true.
I get defensive sometimes about things because I feel like people don't understand me.
Exactly.
I be feeling like maybe it's some of the things that I be wanting to say, but then I be kind of like not saying everything, and maybe that's the reason why. But I be feeling like I said, you know what? I think you don't understand me. You don't know what I've been through, and then some of the stuff is kind of like, it's not embarrassing, but it's just like it's kind of deep. And then you're not trying to say the whole thing right then and there, but then it'd be like, you just don't understand where I'm coming from, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I be a little defensive because somebody may have said something to me that may have hurt my feelings, or or like, let's say somebody may have done something, but you may not know what that person have done, and then you
Mm-hmm.
sitting up there and you trying to explain, but then you like, it's okay, I'm just not I'm just not gonna say nothing because my feelings is hurt, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I guess you can see it a little bit way of, it's not that you weak, but it's just like, okay, like for me, I think sometimes I may put like a little bit of feelings in how I feel when I'm speaking, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes you know, like, you may be hurt or something, but you trying to say how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, when you get stronger in the Lord, you know how to hold things back without saying certain things. But you have to learn how to rephrase things,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But you have to learn, you know, what you can say and not say, because my mama said it's always a time and a place. And you
That's
know, it
right.
took me a long time, mama, it took me a long time to understand it's a time and a place. Because me, like I said, it's just like this. When somebody says something to me, I say it. You know,
Yeah,
I
you
just,
just gonna come back at her.
I'm really blunt,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, I don't like when people like, it's just like this. When people disrespect you, you sometimes you don't really know how to, like, right away. No, and if y'all sit up here and lie, I'm telling you, right away when somebody disrespect you, you be ready to shotgun aim fire, because it's just like it's just like, how you gonna sit up here and just blatantly call me out my name or say something about me, and then just think I'm finna just like be like flowers over here. I
Mm-hmm.
can't just be flowers, you know, in the midst of hellfire. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's just hard to do. But and then I go to my mom. I said, Mom, how do you do it? How do you do it? How can you go about it when somebody, you know?
I ain't always been able to hold my peace. But God, I learned from the Bible, it says, hold your peace and let the Lord fight your battle. Sometimes you just grit your teeth because you could just fly off the handle and go and say something, but then after you regret it. You hate that you said all that you said because you could have just been praying all the time. And I always pray. So if I pray before I speak, then it'll come out better. But
Hmm.
sometimes if you just fly off and just say something, you regret it, but you go back and let that person know that, hey.
But how can you? How can you? Okay, not to cut you off, because I know sometimes I jump in. But
Mm-hmm.
how can you pray before you speak if you in a moment?
Well, I always pray. I have a prayer in my mind and my,
I'm
heart
talking
all
about
the
why the
time.
conversation is going.
While we going, I'm praying right now.
Okay. I'm finna go.
I always pray, honey. It says,
Oh, y'all, let me say.
it says, pray without ceasing. That means don't let your prayer ever stop.
Oh God, God.
Me and you is talking, but my mind is steady going on like, Lord bless us, help us, Lord, to just, say the right thing, then get to the right people and let them know, that life goes on.
Oh, wow. You know, and it's something, y'all, let me tell you, because what I just explained is not where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
I had to explain. I'm explaining something to you because I want to be as, what you call that? Like because it's like you want to be as real as possible because you want people to know that these are true and real events that happens
Exactly.
when you are going through life. And a lot of times people don't think that like the Bible can explain to you how to get through things, but it can.
It will.
And I wanted to talk to you guys as something about how the mind works because a lot of times you think it's about somebody else telling you how to think and it's not. Because it's going to be times where you're not going to have people there to think for you. You're not going to have time, like let's say if you're in a situation, somebody could be right in front of you. You could be in a situation, somebody may, just come out of nowhere and just start going off and stuff like that. Even like your friends and stuff like that. You could be in the midst of something, And my mama's saying to pray. But let me say you something. It's better to be in a sober mind than in a drunk mind. Cause I know me, I used to wonder, I said, y'all praying for me, and stuff like that. But who helped me? I was like, when I was going through the situations of when I was drinking and I was going through it, I didn't need all the finger pointing. What I needed was somebody to help me. I was just like this, help me, help me, help me. But what happens when you don't know to pray if you're in the wrong mind? That's why you gotta be sober minded. You see what I'm saying?
But the word of God said, be slow to speak. Don't let your good be evil spoken of, because you can cut that person down without
soft anger. A soft answer.
Soft answer,
Oh my
Because
goodness,
if you be quick to speak and say something real harsh, it can stir them up and make them feel bad. But if you be slow to speak, and say soft words or what kind word, they can understand that better than if you jump up and holler at them. Say, well, you know this and you know that. That's not good.
That took me somewhere, because it took me a long time, and I'm not gonna lie about that, because because I'd be like this. How do you feel if somebody lie on you? How do you feel if somebody right in your face and they challenging you and let me be honest, y'all. Look, I'm not a person who likes to debate, but I'm a person that will debate if you like try to, come for me. And it's just like, and I'm not talking about like in a way of how you see it on TV. I'm talking about it's just like it's like when I'm saying something and then you try to challenge me, or like you saying like, where is this in the Bible, or what about that, how'd you get this, or something like that, or like somebody would be talking about me and saying, well, I what about this and what about that, and you just like, hold on, wait a minute. If God showed me something, if the Holy Spirit told me something, I'm going to stick to that. You know what I'm saying? And even if I don't know the scripture right away, the Holy Spirit gave this to me, and you have to stand on that sometimes,
That's
y'all.
right. You have to have that discernment.
Because a lot of times people is going to look at you and your background and how you look and how they know you used to be. But they wasn't there in your change. They wasn't there in your moment. They wasn't there. Like for instance, there was a time where I know no one believed me. You know what I mean? Not my mom, not my brother, not none of my friends, and nobody. Okay? And I said, you know what? I'm dealing with this right now, and no one would believe me. They would look at me like I'm sideways twisted, even listening. And I said, you know what? That's it. And I just say, you know what? That's it. You know what? I ain't gonna say nothing else. I said, you know what, y'all? I love y'all, but I'm cool off y'all. Like just like that. And I promise you on everything I love. And I was just like, you know what? I said, Lord, and I went straight to Jesus, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. I said, Lord, you know what? I'm finna let go. I said, I'm gonna let go and let God. I said, you know what, Lord, you gonna have to take it from here. And I remember that night like it was yesterday. And I was like, Lord, you gonna have to take it from here. And I let go and let God for the first time in my entire life, y'all. And when I let go and let God, I remember just laying there and just giving it all to God. And I said, Lord, you're going to have to help me with this.
Mm-hmm.
Because I done gave up. And a lot of times God wants us to let him do it.
Yep, let him work it out.
When it's bigger than you, you got to let God do it.
Mm-hmm.
I told you sometimes your parent, you know, if you have one, they can hold your hand and lead you, right? They can, you know, the best thing you can do is give your child to God.
Mm-hmm.
They can. My mom could lead me, and she gave me to God, lead me, but she can't make all the decisions for me.
That's right. It's just like leading a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. He'll stand there thirsty there. But you just have to pray for him.
That's right.
Because things like that do happen. And all the time your parents don't understand. And they should just cease out. That means stop talking and listen. It's best to listen sometimes than to put your 2 cents in.
Because I used to, when I said, Mom, how do you deal with this when if you know your kids or anybody is going through it and you in the midst of it? How do you deal? What do you be doing? How do you deal with it?
I just pray. I pray a lot of times. And I say, peace, be still. Because a lot of times you can't just be still. You want to pray, you want to talk to them, you want to tell them stuff, but all the time it's not the right time.
And okay, one more question. How do you choose if you know, like for instance, if you know that, you know, your children, and zero me out because I'm asking these questions trying to get an answer, you know. How, if you got your children sitting up there and you know that they're, let's say that they're going through it or something like that, and you hearing them talk, but you're not in it, but you're hearing them talk, how would you deal with it, deal with the issue? And these are your kids that are going through it. How do you deal with your kids going through it, if they're amongst each other, you know?
But like I said, I'm always praying. I'm always praying because they could get out of hand. They could say something wrong. Sometimes I just let them know, hey, that's not cool. To be fussing going on like that. I still pray. God will fix it. If you keep quiet, God will fix it.
But what happens if you know, like, somebody is right and somebody's wrong?
I still pray.
Do you say anything? Do you get involved?
Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. Because sometimes it's best to back away. Or to just let God handle it and don't talk.
But then what happens if you know that is wrong? Like, you know it's wrong.
It's a lot of things I know it's wrong and stuff, but I don't say nothing about it. I mean, I can be sitting up in the church and I hear something that's not right. I'm not going to stand up there and say, no, I don't think that's right, you know. And I read the Bible and I know the answers, but sometimes it's better to just not say nothing and pray.
Wow, and you know what? You said something that hit me because it tells me that that's why it's better to have a relationship with the Lord, because what happens if you are in a predicament like that and you know you need to you are in a predicament like that and you know and you hear the word or someone is saying something and it's just like you know it don't sound right. You just like, you know what, I know this is not right. And it's something because if you don't have your relationship with the Lord, then it would just be like you'll be lost because you'll be believing everything you hear, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of not knowing, you have to know it for yourself. That's why I said you have to have your own relationship with God to be able to understand the word, right?
Yeah, and he said, lead not to your own understanding.
Explain it. What you saying?
Because God said, because a lot of times we believe things that is right our way, and it don't be. So we don't lean to our own understanding. Like, no, I wouldn't have did this to this child. I wouldn't have said this to this child. And stuff. But it's not. They understand. It's my understanding. I'm going to whoop my child. I'm going to, because that's your understanding. But the Bible said, train up a child in the way it's supposed to go.
I think I got it. Was a spirited child.
Spare the child.
I don't know how it go, but I kind of did it.
Spoil the child and spare the rod. Something like that.
Better run.
Spell charge.
Ooh,
Child.
I know what you was trying to say because when you was saying it, I heard it.
That means if you don't whoop them, then they won't understand. That's what you think. But the Bible said, lean not to your own understanding.
But I don't like to get beat. I don't.
But you know what?
I'm not gonna go there.
I don't like to be beat either. And if I have to go back over my life,
I'm not gonna bring it up, but
listen,
we wasn't that bad. We was not that bad.
You wasn't.
And you know what? Stuff hurts.
I know.
And that's it. I'm not gonna say nothing else.
I learned from my parents that if you don't chastise the child.
Let me say something, but even if you learn from your parents, that don't mean you beat your kids.
Right.
So you don't beat your kids.
You're right. You're right. But even God chastised us, and we all his children, but we go by it the wrong way.
Well, I learned. I'm so glad I had a long T-shirt where I can put. Cause you know what, y'all? Let me tell you something. I'm glad I had a long T-shirt because I used to pull it on my legs and stuff. Cause you know how you can take your shirt and pull it over your whole body. That's what I did. And I'm gonna leave it. I did that. I had to. Cause you know I don't like getting hit. Shoot. But anyway.
I apologize for all the times I did whooped you.
No, you do not have to apologize because I understand
but
now.
I know how to. Yeah.
I understand now, but you know what? I just was praying because I said I couldn't have been that bad. Lord, help me.
You were.
But I love my mama, but I was hurt.
Only God knows.
I love you though, Mom. Thank you for.
I love you too.
Sparing the child. Because that's why I felt I was spared, Lord. Thank you for sparing us. Jesus was sparing us, spoil the child, spare us too. Spare the child. Because, I promise you, the Lord saved our lives. Thank you. Hallelujah, Jesus. Thank you. No, but for us, thank you, Mom.
Yeah.
I won't make too many jokes.
I'm sorry.
But thank you,
But
Mama,
I thank God.
Because you raised me, my brothers, and stuff like that the right way, and I'm just glad that you gave us God, because one thing that I can say to you, that you have never took sides. And I thank you for that, for being that example. Because I could sit here and say that you never chose between your children.
No,
but what you have done is you did tell us the right things to do, even in the midst of the things that we go through, because there's been times where I know that I was wrong. And, and the times that I know that I was wrong, a lot of times you can't apologize right away. Because you have to, get to yourself sometime, and you'll think about it.
Yeah.
And you be like, man, I was wrong. You be like, you'll try to talk to that person later or something. You be like, you know what, I was wrong. Or matter of fact, you talking to God, because you like, Lord, you praying about it, and you say, you know what, Lord, I was wrong about this, But I be thanking God that we know how to do that. Because a lot of times if you don't know how to go to God about stuff, then sometimes it'll be like it's like that guilt will be in your heart. You be carrying around this hate and this guilt in your heart, and you can't do that. You have to pray about stuff like that, because God will reveal to you when you wrong. I'm telling you, He will.
He will. He'll let you know.
He'll let you know when you're wrong, because you won't take that long to apologize about it. Like sometimes when I tell my mom, like, Mom, I apologize, because sometimes I'll misunderstand her, or I'll say something, and I'll be like, man, I didn't understand this, or I didn't see it that way you saw it. Because this is like wisdom. Your mama, your dad be telling you stuff like that because you don't see it. And a lot of times we be afraid to admit that your parents be seeing stuff before you see it. If they tell you not to go somewhere or not to do something,
oh Lord,
they can see your friends too, y'all. Your mom and dad can see your friends, and they'll tell you in a minute. They be like, you know what, you shouldn't be hanging with such and such, and you be like, that's my friend, Mom.
Yeah.
but they be knowing. I'll be like, how do they know?
Yeah, they don't understand that you can see through that. That's when they could discern more than you could.
They can look right at you.
Right through that lie. Your friend is telling.
And I'll be like, but Mama, how you know? You know what? It used to get to me when my friends used to sit up there and tell and go like this to me. Now, this is something separate, Mama, but my friends used to do this to me, some of them. And they'll go like this, look. They be like, do your mama know? I'm going to tell your mama. Like, they be trying to talk about they going to tell my mama something. as if my mama was gonna turn her back on me, like they trying to break like my relationship up with my mama, and saying I'm gonna tell on you, you know what you doing or what you. I'm like, am I 2 years old? But then let me tell y'all something, because I told my half of the stuff that y'all thought you was gonna say, I had been done told her, and I bet you my mom. Look, this was funny because 9 times out of 10 I done already done put her up on game. But if I didn't tell her what happened, tell me why my mom already knew.
Because God let me know. So.
And I'd be like, how did she already know? You know, before I even, say anything, it's like she already knew about it.
Because a lot of times I done went through stuff. And well,
I said, and I'd be like, but Mom, why you didn't say nothing?
I wasn't saying nothing back then in front of them. But I already went through, you my child. I'm not going to take their word for something other over my child when I know my child. I know my child. And if I go against them now, how would they ever believe me about anything? If I say, well, I'm going to take their word for it because they said you did this. I'm not going to do that. And I tell them, that's my child.
But you know what else that I love?
And they get mad at me because I didn't take their side.
And guess what else I love?
What's that?
That you show everybody love.
That everybody.
I mean, I know you done saw a lot of people that we done been around, and a lot of people we done brought over to the house, and like a lot of friends we done been around. And you know what? Everybody knows that my mom had always like took everybody in.
Compassion.
Everybody in. Like she took everybody in. When I say everybody, she did.
Spoke English or Spanish, whatever.
And like, cooking food.
Oh, I fed them all.
My mom would feed everybody and take everybody in. And Mama, I just want to say thank you for the things that you have done for me and all of us out here. You know what I'm saying? Because she never did judge anybody.
I didn't pass them over or nothing.
My mama never judged nobody, y'all.
No.
And that's one thing that I learned, seeing her do. That she never judged like people coming in at the door. But she knew. Like, don't
think you get nothing over on me.
Do not think you come in the house and she didn't know you was high or drunk.
Thank you. But I knew that was somebody's child. And I said to myself, what is that with my child? I don't want nobody to mistreat them or kick them back out those and say, I don't want you in my house. It's just like somebody coming into the church and you know they're not living right. You know they're coming there wrong and stuff. But God said, come as you are. And I got that spirit that God had. Come as you are. And eventually, you see how we live, then you'll learn how to live like that too. You come towards my house drinking, you're going to put that can down, or you can put that cigarette down and say, oh no, we can't go over there like that because Miss So-and-so, she don't allow that.
That's right.
So you give me respect because I give you respect.
That's right.
And I thank God for that. I've helped people that broke in my house, and I know they broke in it. They know I know it. And I called them to my door and gave them some more food. I said, you didn't have to break in my house or steal from me. You could have just asked. Because that's the kind of heart I got. I didn't turn them in.
And that's something. Because, it was, and I remember that one time because it was just like, it was like the last food, like my mom just barely bought us some food. Like she was just a single parent at this time. And she had just barely had enough money. Like, we barely had enough money to have food on our table, y'all. Like, I'm telling you. And then for us to go home and then to open the door and the whole door just lay down. Just fall down on the floor. And she goes in there and look around everything. And nothing was stolen but the food. And I was just like, man. And you know what? And that was like what we needed. And then just like our food that we had. I know y'all remember like bologna and all that stuff like that. Because y'all talk about it now. But back in the day, everybody ate bologna. Put that little bubble in there and pop and cut the corners and all that kind of stuff. Y'all did that. So don't act like you didn't have bologna. Y'all better stop acting.
Bologna, eggs.
Y'all had all that stuff. Remember the powdered milk?
Oh, Lord.
Everybody ain't gonna talk about that. And the cheese and stuff like government cheese, all that stuff.
Government cheese.
All that stuff like that. You know it.
Yeah.
People don't want to talk about food stamps. They don't want to talk about weight. They don't want to talk about welfare.
Yeah, they didn't even want to go to the store and cash them. But I will.
But you know what? Let me tell you something. It's hard out there when you have a single parent mother or a single parent father And I'm telling you, especially widows,
Mm-hmm.
because my mom is a widow.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine having a parent that it was two parents, but then, she lost all the ones.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, all the ones that came in her life have passed away.
Yeah.
Every man,
Mm-hmm.
even my father, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Her husband, and
My,
it's just
my
like this,
son's father.
you know?
Yeah.
And uh it's not like she wasn't working or she wasn't taking care of her kids, like how some people be saying. They be
Yeah.
like, you know what, half of y'all done, y'all get up and go out there and work, and y'all don't know, y'all want to be lazy, and y'all don't want to work, and y'all don't need work, for y'all need to get up off of that. Let me tell y'all something like that. It's hard when you didn't make a child by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that second person, what if you have like that second person that told you you didn't have to pay for nothing, and you relied on them to do everything, and they tell you don't have to work, I'm gonna take care of you, like most men
Mm-hmm.
that's really men would do. They be like, I'm gonna take care of you, and then what happens when they gone?
Yeah. They're not there no more.
That's heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
As kids, we wouldn't understand that. But think about how my mom had to understand that, though, and she's young, with
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And anyways, but when we was reading this, like I said, we saw this: give strong drink as medicine to him who is ready to pass away. And like I said, we saw that as if, like, how you got somebody like an elder or
Mm-hmm.
the stronger person. Like when my mom was saying that, she was like, it's like a person who can actually take that,
Mm-hmm.
rather than a younger person who can,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah, because there's some people you can talk to in one way, and some people you have to talk to in another way. An older child is different from a younger child. A baby can't understand what you're talking about with a hoarse voice, and an older person can understand. Like you can tell them stuff, and they'll know what you're talking about, and that'll stick to them. But if you're young, you just a babe, you'll grow to that. You learn what that older person is learning, and grow into that and know how to help but them if something happened to your parent. So it's good to just teach them while they're young, and as they get older, they'll know they'll know how to act. And I thank God for that.
Yes. Because then the other part says, and whine to him in bitter distress of heart. Let him drink and forget his poverty, and seriously remember his want and misery no more. And then I was thinking of that, as like when we was talking about it, we know what it says, but then when we're looking at it spiritually, it's just like what she was explaining, because it's just like this, like a younger person, and how about can I go here with it? Because what happens when it's not just the older person or the younger person, but how do you go about it when it's I don't even want to say that, because I was going to say a person with more wisdom and less wisdom, because then you can't say that, because you don't really know where that person is, if God has that person on the higher level. Because I was going to say, how do you tell a person with more wisdom and less wisdom this? Because I know how you seeing it as a younger person and an older person, but what about a person that God has taken, to a higher level than that, and they can take what you're giving them and they're younger?
Yeah, I know greater is He that's in you than He that's in the world. God, the Spirit of God is going to be in you as well as in the other person. So what you have to do is just follow the instinct.
Instinct, I hear you.
Instinct, like
Discernment.
you have discernment, and you have to follow that wisdom and knowledge that God give you and stuff, and just live by that.
Okay, I got one last question before. I don't want to pressure you with everything, because I know you. I know you're trying to do it. And y'all, I want to thank her for even like, coming in the picture and trying to say stuff for us, because, not all the times that, she wants to sit up here and, or not wants to sit up here, but can sit up here and do this with us. But I thank the Lord today that she's able to give us a little wisdom and knowledge, because, about, kids or people that's out there, because yeah, my mom was one of the ones that helped everybody, y'all. She's a missionary, not only that, but an usher, and she has helped plenty of children coming into church, plenty of people, man, even the older people, the elder people that came into church, because I know my mama I told you, a lot of people in as children. I could see her face right now, like meaning like she remembers these people, just going back in her mind. I can see it, as far as like, I know you remember like, the other churches when I don't have to say it, but taking people in, being an usher on the usher board, and being a missionary, you sit up there and, and it's like, and a little bit of the evangelist. I believe my mom had a little bit of everything, because, my mom didn't really care about the titles, because she just took whatever God gave her. And she just went with it, because you know what, she would talk to the mothers of the church. You would talk to all the people on the usher board. All the kids and stuff like that. I remember all the kids, they knew how, they better sit down and stuff like that. But y'all back then, we couldn't even chew gum, y'all. It was just, we knew like the usher come over there and be like, you got to spit your gum out. You'd be like, I'd be like, man, the flavor is at the beginning. You just be done pop that little candy or a little gum, and we cannot chew gum in the church, y'all. I'm telling you. But they fed people. They fed. Remember when they used to feed everybody? I remember people used to come in towards the end of the church just to get a plate. I remember that too.
Feed them breakfast. They come early enough. They eat breakfast.
Look, y'all,
stay late enough. They eat dinner.
Even though they had the counsel in the church, people would still come to my mom for advice. People that come up to, they'd be like, Sister so and so. They was like, I'm going through this in my relationship, and or the pastor this or that, or somebody else in the church is this and that. Can you tell me how to do this? I'd be like, oh my goodness. It's stuff that I probably don't even know, but my mom talked to these young women in the church and stuff like that, and they looked at her as mom too.
Yeah.
But I'd be like, that's my mom. Sorry, I'm just kidding. but it's something, because me and my brother was not like that. Mom, for real though, we was not like that. Even
but
though,
y'all had friends y'all could talk to though.
Even though when we was younger, my brother used to always try to, well, I ain't gonna say try, he always like was protective over me, like when I was younger and stuff like that. When I was younger, you know what I'm saying, he did. No, for real, he did. I didn't even know it, but my mama told me. My mom I found this picture where I was sitting in this car, in the chair in a car, and I said, Mama, I was holding my hand. I said, pick me up out of this car, the chair. I said, it's probably because that seat was hot. And
it was not. It was not hot.
I said, Mama, the seat was hot. I was trying to ask you. I was holding my hand in the picture. I said, the seat was hot, and I was asking her to pick me up.
No.
But she said that ain't what was wrong.
We was on the shade tree. She just wanted to get up. That's all.
And I said, the seat was hot. And she said, no, it wasn't. I was just like reach for her to just pick me up. And,
all the children wanted me to be their mama.
And my brother was always protective over me. He was always trying to be the man. He was like the bigger. He was the bigger person all the time. He was always taking on stuff that was too big for him. But he was really, really, really wise too. Being older than me, but he was really, really, really wise. I think it was a lot of things he understood too that a lot of people wouldn't think he understood. Being young.
I thank God that both of my kids are very wise. They understand. Other people don't understand them, but they are very wise and knowledgeable with the Word of God and how they lead people. And I believe they're going to be great leaders.
Say something about your son and what you know that maybe a lot of people may not know.
My son has a very caring heart. He loves people. He likes to help people. He go out his way for people, And I thank God that he'll do anything for people. He'll give him the last shirt on his back. He would help. He would help.
You know what? Yeah.
If they need something, he'll give it to them.
I know.
He's not a stingy person.
Yeah.
He'll let you stay all night with him, drive you.
Yeah.
And he will listen to a pastor. Pastor can tell him stuff. But it's up to God to lead him where he wanted to go. And I'm praying that he continue to walk that way.
Yeah.
He's a great man of God. And my daughter is too. She know that word. She's a singer. She plays music. And I love both of them and the job they have for God. God knows. And I'm a fervent prayer of the righteous. So I'm believing that one day they will lead people in this world to do the right thing. We're not all there yet, but we on our way.
And I thank you. I thank you, Mom, because, I love my brother too. You know what? I think a lot of times with me and my brother, because we all have sisters and brothers and stuff like that, I believe a lot of times it's because, like, we both have wisdom and we both have, like, I think sometimes we be, just because we are at different places in our lives, it doesn't mean that we don't love each other or we don't have, God in our lives. I just believe that sometimes God wants to probably deal with us separately, in certain things to prepare us for the direction or the ways that he wants us to go. But I love my brother very much, and I just think that he deals with his own things in his way, and I deal with my own things my own way. And then maybe one day, even like even though when we don't see each other eye to eye, I know in our hearts that we love each other. And Mom, with you, I tell you, you have a lot of gifts and a lot of talents in you too, but what you don't realize is a lot of them comes from deep within. A lot of time people don't see it, but the gifts that you think that you don't see is the gifts that a lot of people need spiritually, that it comes from the inside. And when you can show what you got on the inside, it becomes multiple of fruit on the outside. It's like when God does things for you from the inside, he shows you openly and rewards you openly because he shows you what you put in. You put it in the heavenly realm. Okay,
thank you,
and when you
Jesus.
put that fruit in the heavenly realm, he shows everything you do heavenly.
Yes.
See, when we say, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, he said, on earth as it is in heaven. So when he shows the things that you do on earth, he shows it from a heavenly type of view. You see what I'm saying? So don't think what you do is in vain, because everything you said to me and my brother is never in vain. I may not understand the things you would say to him, and he might not understand the things you say to me, but it doesn't mean it's different love. It means, just like you said, I know that my brother, he may be older, so it may be things you could tell him that he can understand differently from what you might tell me, but it doesn't make us be less than each other. But I can understand that now.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? And I thank you for the love, because it's just like you never change. Like God said, I'm the same.
Yesterday.
Yep. Yesterday, today,
and forever.
And forever. And I thank you for that.
Yes.
And, so when I heard this, I was going to the virtuous woman, but I'm sitting with the virtuous woman, because the definition of just like that, I said, when I say y'all don't know what love is, it's just like this. For my mom to end up being a widow, she never changed her love towards God, because it's something how, it's something how, God talked about Job, and the way the devil wanted to say, hey, let me have your faithful servant. Let me have Job. I bet he would curse this guy and die, right? And he sits up there and think that Job would do that, but no matter what my mom went through, okay, no matter what she's been through, she stayed faithful to God.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter how we change, because you know what? I changed in my life of the things that I was going to go through. I didn't know I was going to go through all the things I've been through, but I'm glad to be where I'm at now.
Yes.
But my mom never changed.
I still love the Lord.
She's still been the same and loving the Lord.
Yes.
And I thank you for that, Mom. I thank you for just staying in God. Because you know what? You didn't have to do that. But everybody that came through that door knew you loved Jesus. Everybody knew
Because
that.
I didn't let nobody leave without prayer.
Everybody knew you loved God.
Yes.
And I just hope that I can send that same message and that same wave. And that same wave that I hope I do. I want people to see me in that type of light. That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of times when people don't see you around and stuff like that, know that God has to work with you. He has to deal with you for you to have that inner peace and that love that He has.
That's right.
And that love that you got to have is the love that you have with God spiritually.
Yes.
Remember, not in the flesh.
Yes, it's all about Jesus.
It's got to be spiritually. It's that connection that I was trying to tell y'all about. You got to have that connection with God because that's what she did. And that's what I'm doing. You see what I'm saying? And I feel more closer to God and stuff like that. And now I feel even better, even talking to Mama or coming to her, with the things that I do when it becomes spiritual.
Yes.
Because she understands.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? She understood before I said it. But I'm just glad that I'm able to be able to tell her, I be laughing sometimes because I be like this. Look, y'all, I be too excited, y'all. I'm sorry because I be just now getting it right. And I be up here trying to study to show myself. I be like, Mama, look. And I be like, you know what? I got it and stuff like that. And then my mom, it's not that she ain't excited. It's just that she know already.
Yeah.
You know how people that can be, elder and they've been with the Lord for a long time.
And they be trying to get a lot out.
And then you be like, my mama, look. And you can say a whole bunch of stuff. And I told you she had these one-liners and she was just like, greater is He. And you be like, I was trying to say all that. I was trying to explain that and stuff like that. But she's like, I know exactly what you're talking about. And it's not that she's trying to cut your excitement down. It's just that she knows. It's just that she over here. Because if she don't agree in her spirit, she'll tell you. She'll be like, no, hold on. Hold up a minute. Say that again. Because if my mama hears something that ain't right, she'll let you know. Because I remember, y'all, I had, look, I'm going to tell it. Because I remember having like this one person over and I didn't really know them that well. But I was just like, and look, y'all, I'm talking about when I first gave up everything. Piercings, everything. This is before I had tattoos and stuff. And I'm talking about y'all was walking like Pete on the water. Like I felt like I was there. Okay? My first time turning my life around, I felt like I was there. I was like a young teen. And then, like, I met this person. I was just like, cool, you know what I'm saying? Homegirl, she talking about she go to church and oops, Mama, okay,
Excuse me.
We're going to stop it in a second. Oh,
excuse me.
Okay, baby. Okay, we're going to stop it. I know it's pretty long. Okay, look. She's hanging in there, y'all. So, long story short, I thought that they was right with the Lord. And, this is why you got to have the Lord and have your own relationship because then, He would have showed me these things, but I didn't know. I just noticed that I kept my focus on God. But my mom heard something. And I was just like, so...
I heard God. That's what I heard.
and I was in here. No, look, I was in here praying with this girl and stuff like that in the living room and stuff. We were supposed to be having Bible study, and she was trying to talk about, look, y'all, and I didn't, y'all. I'm sorry, I probably was a little naive. Well, I was a little bit and stuff like that. Cause y'all, for real, I'm really truthful. I was a little naive and stuff, but I was really trying to get God. I already had Him. But I was trying to further myself with the Lord. Okay. So, anywho. And she was talking about soul tie. I'll never forget. She's talking about my mom. She must remember because she laughed.
Yes, I do.
She was talking about the soul tie. And she was talking about, how she was like, how we is a soul tie. And me and her is a soul tie. And stuff. Y'all, I'm telling you. She was trying to tell me and her was a soul tie. And I'll never forget this. Me and her was a soul tie. And that something God brought us together and a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't know. Y'all was just listening. And I was like, and I'm taking notes. And I was like, soul tie. I'm trying to write it down, trying to understand it. And so my mom heard something out that was not right. And she said, I was sitting in there. My mom was ear hustling, y'all.
No, I wasn't. Okay. I wasn't trying to hear them. They was talking about the Bible. And I was trying to see what that girl telling her right.
And she's like, she is not telling my baby something. That something ain't right. So she come in there and say, wait a minute,
God said,
what was y'all talking about? Whoa. She said, God said, whoa. She said, I'm gonna have to go in here and say something because ain't nobody gonna be telling my daughter something.
let them know that.
Talking about this is not y'all, it's not no soul tie. She said, wait. I forgot the whole conversation.
Yeah,
but my mama know that it was not right. And so we was just like, but anyway, y'all.
God stopped it.
And so look, so let me tell y'all, long story short, my mom and okay, homegirl left. And then my mama said, hold on right there. Right after I closed the door, she said, I want to pray for you. And I was like, why you want to pray for me, Mom? We just had prayer. And tell me why. Tell me this, y'all. Look. She had me to come outside. Wait, y'all, before this happened. Girl, she had me to come outside, y'all. And I did not know she was trying to make a whole entire food. So I go outside and she tell me she wanted to pray outside before she left. Wait, let me tell it now. Because, see, it's some people out here that don't know how naive you can be. Good, because I thought she was so into the Lord, y'all. But listen, was not. I'm telling y'all, all this stuff had happened to me. And she was like, put your feet on my feet. Yeah, she told me, she told me stand on her feet. And then she told me to hold her hands. And she said that she was going to pray for me. She was going to pray for me. And so, stop, Mom. And so she was praying for me and stuff like that. And I was sitting up there. And then tell me why when I got done and stuff like that. And I was like, amen and all that stuff. I turned around and I looked back down like the driveway and whatnot. And I saw two people looking like behind the driveway. And I think they must have been, they was friends of hers or something like that. But I didn't know what it was for. And I was just like, I don't care because I love Jesus. You know, that's what I was thinking in my head. All this time, y'all. All this time, I did not know. Look, but anyway, my mom, I came in the house. My mom said, I want to pray for you right now. And I was just like, okay. You know, and then like my mom prayed for me. And so I was sitting up there and she was praying for me. She said, you know what I saw? She said, when I prayed for you, I saw a split down the middle of your forehead. And she said she saw a cross come across my forehead and the split come down. And the cross come, like my face was moving really, really fast.
Real fast.
And she said she saw a split come down the middle of my face and a cross come up. And she said she was praying for me. And she said that's okay. She said whatever it was, it's broken. She said it's gone now. She said because God showed it to her, and she prayed for me and stuff. And y'all, long story short, she was trying to talk about. She was trying to say I was her soul tie, talking about something else. Y'all, I did not know that. I didn't know.
The DEVIL. Well, anyway, however you spell it, the devil. I didn't. That's what she was. That was.
I did not, y'all, and I'm talking about I was not even paying no attention. I was not looking at nothing. Like I wasn't paying no attention to her like anything like that. And all I remember that night when I was laying down there, I remember the Lord in my ear said, tell him. Like I'm talking about I never heard a loud voice in my ear in my life. And I heard a loud voice say, tell him. And I woke up and everybody was asleep because like she was laying down there on the floor and like all kinds of stuff or whatever going on. I did not know, y'all. I did not know that this was a bunch of cahoots. I'll say that, a bunch of cahoots. But anyways,
God knows.
And I thank you, Mom, for that prayer. Yeah. That prayer. Like, don't worry, I'm gonna do your hair again, y'all. I did my mama's hair because, like I said, I can do hair like the last video. I can do hair a little bit, like crochet. I do braids, and the only thing I don't know how to do, y'all, is like wigs and stuff. Like I don't know how to do like my own hair, like and stuff like that. But I will put like crochet and braids and stuff. But I don't know how to style wigs and stuff. I wish I did. I know I had a couple of people I had just met talking about that they would do some wigs for me at the little shop. The lady told me I can bring her a couple of wigs and she was styling for me because y'all just don't know what I've been through. Okay, things is not as though they were underneath all of this wig. But I might tell y'all later, but I ain't gonna tell you right now. But anyway, I thank the Lord for bringing us this far. And Mom, I was gonna go into something else, but we're gonna stop it. And I do the rest of it later because I believe everything is good. I love y'all out there. If nobody told you that you was beautiful, just the way you are, We love y'all.
We love y'all.
And Jesus love you.
And Jesus love you.
And everybody love you.
Everybody love you.
And God bless you.
God bless you. We love you.
We love you.
Have a nice day.
Have a nice day.